We're back. I don't really know where I left off. It's been quite a while. Mother's Day and some other weekends were super busy. Some things we did do is we went and picked up some engines. We have another 318. We have a 400 big block. Yes, they were derby cars. Some of you guys checked that short I made. Derby engine that had headers on it but was never derbied. Derbied, I believe, once or a few times. And this is that old 318 that I had on this stand that I bought for like 50 bucks or 100 bucks. I actually got exhaust manifold bolts that were broke off, and I had some valve cover bolts that were broke off. I don't know how those broke off, but we took about 2-3 hours to get those out, and all we did was weld a nut on, and then it just kind of torqued out, but it took 20 or 30 to get them going. The 400 has one exhaust manifold bolt broke, but it's not a bad one. It's snubbed out, so it should be real easy. The 318 is good to go. The 318 has no broken bolts, and eventually we're going to throw these on the stand and just see how they do. Something nice, something new is the roof got redone, so no more leaks, which is really nice. So on the Charger, which is what we're getting back to, look what we got. A big drum 8 3/4 E-body, if I'm correct, but we can make it work. I believe it's an E-body, but for the price I paid, I'm super happy, and he also threw in a second pumpkin with it. So right now I have 2 742s and 2 741s to include the one in the Challenger. So we have rear ends, we have K-frames, we have options. So to get it quick and dirty, we're going to take off the pan here, take off the frame rails, we're going to Herculine them, that Rhino line stuff, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and do some work. Today was kind of a slow day of doing stuff that I know I needed to do but just didn't want to do. So we did a lot of cleaning, a lot of cleanup. We fixed the engine run stand because I've always hated it for years. It had tiny little grooves where you could slide them back and forth. Because I cut the pipe real terrible, I cut it real short, and it always felt like the engine was going to fall. So we took all that off and we made a new one. We got a new pipe so it would actually slide a little harder and didn't seem like the engine was going to fall. But we're going to get back on the car, take the trunk pan out, take the frame rails off, prep them, getting ready to go back together. So let's keep going, guys. This car is going to roll together the way it should be, and that's how we want it to go. So let's get back to work, okay? We're back. A lot of fun doing that. It's hard to reach everywhere, but we got both frame rails out. Looks like I did actually do a little bit. I guess I primed the inside. I guess I could have looked there. So we're gonna take a second, Herculine. I think we're gonna scuff the outside too. Either Herculine them or spray them or something. And then while they're out, it's real easy to get underneath the car right now. We're gonna go in there with the wire brush and clean up all that rust, all that sand, and anything I might have missed when I put those frame rails on the first time. Because we're about doing it right, and we're going to take our time with this because we have a decent amount of time, not a lot, but we're going to do it right. Because if someone picks this up for me, because I, God forbid, lose interest, don't want them to look at it and be like, what the fuck did that guy do? What did that guy do? Don't swear. So let's get back to it. I'm not going to show you guys me cleaning up the bottom because that's something I got to mess with, and it's be a loop anyway. So I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get to that, see if you guys can come along here in a bit, and we'll keep getting at it, okay? Hey guys, we're back. I don't know exactly where I left. It's been a very busy months. I don't know how long it's been. Months or months. But we had holidays, we had stuff to do, had work, and now I've got to go for a decent amount of time, so I hope this video can make it out before I leave, because if not, it's going to be another 17 days that something doesn't come out. But where we left off is we got those done on the inside of the rails. Just touched them up with a little bit of paint just to get it over it. But everything is fine, just some nooks and crannies. What we're gonna do next is just take a little grinder, get all the burrs off, get them ready to go. But we've still gotta go underneath the car and prep where the rails go into the floor pan. See if I can get you guys down here and if it's light enough. I mean, it's beautiful out where I live, but we have to prep all that under there. So we're gonna prep all that. And it's not the funnest stuff. All we're doing is a wire wheel and going at it, but we're gonna get it done. I've got some hours, 65 degrees. Let's get to work. Too much. We're gonna catch up real quick. We've got the back scuffed with the wire wheel. I didn't do as much as I wanted because I forgot how annoying it is when you're kind of upside down doing stuff like that. So I'm gonna drop you guys. Big drop. Bring you down in here. We scuffed everything. We're just gonna prime it. The corners there in between the rockers and where a mount comes out for that attached to the frame rail. We're gonna pour that, and we're gonna do it today. I want to get the rails spray paint. I want to get everything painted underneath, and then I want to get the rail kind of in place, and then I'll go in there with a brush and some pour, and we'll get that done. A lot of this and prepping everything and making sure it's ready to go kind of sucks because I'm doing it part at a time. So it takes a lot of time in between paint, a lot of time in between the pour. And there's my marker to go paint again, but it just takes a lot of time, so these videos are kind of slow, and on the fact I only work when I can work and do what I have to do when I already know like what it's got to be done. So there's a lot of measurements that go into this, there's a lot of prep work, there's a lot of biting your fingernails, and there's a lot of making sure everything's good and ready to go before you do it. I would like to get quite a few things done today and this weekend, but I'm leaving this coming Monday, Tuesday, so not a whole lot of time to get a lot done, and I still have other stuff to do, like see the family. So we're gonna get back at this. We're gonna paint. We got the frame rails also ready to go. Something we did with those real quick is we just went through and deburred kind of the ones we had drilled with. Don't know why it was, but there wasn't a flat surface. There was little pieces of metal all throughout it. So we've wiped it down with wax degreaser cleaner, and we've got some weld through zinc. I put all my paints in a hot bucket of water for a few minutes, and then I paint. So we got weld through zinc, we got some black, got some primer, blah, 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 blah. It's not real paint, but it's paint that's going on. So the bottom of the car will ultimately be, everything I'm doing is more or less just prep work for now. Eventually we take it all back off and we redo it with actual paint and all that stuff. So we're gonna get back at it, get this thing going, and I hope you guys follow along. We'll give you another little update here in a bit, okay? When we get some work done. Alright guys, we're back. So we've got the frame rails hung, painted where we need to, rust proofed what we need to, and we used a ratchet strap and a hole on the bottom of the frame rails to a torsion support hole. Just ratcheted them all the way up so we know they're all the way forward. We've measured at the front frame rails, which is about, I think, 36 3/4. We've measured the back 35 1/2. We're good. Now what we need to do is make sure our whole structure is square. One thing I did notice with these chargers, they have a little bolt section on the end on either side. So driver's side, I know because I labeled them. So So you see passenger over there, driver. Right on this side where the lip is, they've got this little bolt tab welded on. But another thing what we're gonna do, now I know this isn't the most advanced, guys, but this is a plumb bob and a string. Now, brush off where we're gonna be. Alright, we got one marked. And what we're going to do is label it. I'll name it frame rail rear. Now, I don't know if you guys can see down here, but I've got quite a few. I've been doing this for quite a while on this car. Not so much since I've restarted, but now that we're just getting back into it is what we're doing. Now, there is going to be a little bit of error with this whole thing. I understand that. I don't have a frame table. We're doing it this way. This is how we're going to do it, guys. So let's get back to the other side and I'll bring you guys along for that one as well. Just so you guys can see the full little effect here. So all we're going to do is take the string, go up from the bottom. Come up here, we're going to eyeball where it's hanging. Circle, right, 28 on it. And that's all we're doing, guys. It's not the most scientific or the most up-to-date method. I'm guessing there's ways I could do this that are better. But it's what we're working with. It's a string and a carpenter's plumb bob. That's all it is. And obviously I don't have a hole that goes in, but all we're doing, to be honest, centering it in that one. There's gonna be a little off. The factories were a little off. Let's do the front and you guys come back when we're seeing what our measurements are, okay? Appreciate it, guys. Keep watching. Hi guys, we're back. Didn't bring you along for much of the plumb die and bobs, but that is terrible. It takes a long time. You're doing one person, you're getting up and down, you're doing a lot of fiddling around. But we've got the frame rails where we like them. I think they're about a couple 16ths less than a 1/4 off, so it's really nice. I also did from the front to the front of the car as well, just to check those as well. The trunk pan's just sitting. We also put on the extensions, extensions for the frame rails. I think they hold the leaf spring. Yeah, leaf spring purchase. Put those on. What we're kind of doing now is just catching our breath, taking a look at the car. These sheet metal screws are a lot better than the bolts because boy, do they grab and they suck that metal in. Those leaf spring purchase here had a huge gap. Probably stick my finger in it. Just put that sheet metal screw in, went right through it. Pulled it nice and tight. Wish I would have bought these years ago, even with the duster that I just did, even with the floor I did, those things would have been amazing. The really thing that kind of sucks with this car is I have a ton of holes everywhere. Not a lot of them are lining up anymore. I know when I took the frame rails out and I compared them to the new ones that I purchased, I think they were a little how do you say that? They weren't as wide, so they were kind of littler. Now I don't know if that's just a thing or if maybe it was a bad set, but they seemed like they were more of a, didn't have as big a gap in between the rail and side to side. The old ones had a bigger gap, because I can tell because I'm looking at how I took them out and looking at the new ones. You see the light? That's the old ones that were drilled out, and then new ones that don't line up with it. But from what I can tell, everything's square. So hopefully it's right. It is a plumb bob and a string, so could have a lot of user error. I think right now is we're gonna cut for the day. If we come back tomorrow, that might be a thing, but we'll catch you guys up on another update, okay? You guys keep watching. Alright guys, if you guys are watching this, that means we didn't get to another couple clips before we had to make this video. It's been a little busy with holidays. The weekends is all I can work. We've got some new kid with us. And just kind of cleaning up the duster, the shop, the house, everything. It's summer, so right now it's about 65, 70 degrees. So just kind of enjoying it as well. So videos, just can't really keep them up as fast as I can with the Charger as I did the duster. The Charger's got a lot of measuring, a lot of stringing out. It's got a lot of little things that you can't skip them. You have to do them, and you have to make sure they're correct. It's a little more intensive than the duster, so it is taking a little bit more time as well. There's hours upon hours that go into these, even without the camera rolling or anything, just researching, looking up what I have to do, making sure I have the parts. How the hell do the parts fit? This Charger, I've noticed with the panels, some of the stuff comes with an extra tab or an extra little piece of metal or just too much metal. That one that's on the back of the frame rails, where it has a cutout for like an eyelet, like a little circle, it doesn't fit. It does not line up. There is no physical way to make that thing fit unless the frame rail was moved out, I think, to like 38 inches. Yet everything I've found says they have to be 35 and a half. Hell, the bolt holes won't even line up if I did that. So they are good pieces, but there is some stuff that's still off. So we are doing our best by taking our time, because we don't want to buy more panels. We want to spend more money on stuff we already have. So it is taking a little bit of time. But we're going to keep going. We're going to get the thing together. My goal at this point is structure. I want the back half of the part to at least be half complete. If down to the tail panel or the quarters, the frame rails are a must. They have to get welded in. They've been hanging for so long, we have to do that. We have to weld those in. We have to get the trunk floor welded in. I'd love for the quarter panels to be in. I really want the whole car to just kind of be complete, and then we start really doing a little bit more funner stuff. It's funner to hang stuff, but the welding in this, the measurement, it takes a lot of time. And it really will take a lot of time. So if you guys are watching this, videos are slow. It's at the pace I can keep up. I only do this on the weekends when I have the time to do it. I also have a full-time job that calls me away for whenever I'm needed. And I also have another commitment where I will be gone for the next 17 days, so there'll be nothing done in between those. Even though in between these videos on the weekends, I am trying to make content, trying to further the car. So hope you guys keep watching. We're gonna finish this car out no matter what, and then we're gonna move on to something a little funner. I don't know. The 49 Ford, the Model T, the 49 for a fact needs to be painted. So that will get done eventually. That needs to be painted and pushed outside. So it's gonna get painted. I've never painted, so it'll be a great car to paint, a great truck to paint on. Be great to paint on. It doesn't have a ton of rust. I've just gotta fix some things in the box, and then it's good to go. But appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and follow along on the Charger. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have measurements or sites or forms with easy to read measurements, please tag me. The stuff I found, I use some, I don't use some, and then they contradict each other. So it's a little hard to really know what you're doing. I've watched a lot of Chris Bird's song. I forget the other one right now. Rust Bucket Restos. I need to really actually message those guys to see if they can give me some numbers. I know they're busy, I know they've got other stuff to do just like me, but it would be nice to see kind of where they were pulling their information from. I do have the 68 outside, but like I said, the frame rails were width-wise smaller than the originals. It was almost like the originals were like a skin, like you could actually put them over the new ones. So I don't know, but I did order the right ones. I still have the boxes to prove it. I hope you guys follow along. I've been rambling. Let's get back to it.